Hello, welcome back to the channel, and I've decided it's time for another tier list. It's time to rank out haircuts. Now there's a high likelihood that you've had one or two of these haircuts that I'm about to judge harshly. And to start things off, we gotta start with the mullet. Now I'm just talking about the classic mullet, you know, maybe a little bit shaved on the side, really big and poofy in the back, and you got a nice cut on top. It fluctuates, the mullet. From cool to not cool to super cool. Kind of depends on the mullet. You can have a whole tier list of just mullets. But in 2022, I gotta say the mullet is just real good. Its cousin, the fashion mullet, however, it's whack as fuck. What are you doing getting a prim and proper mullet for? If you're getting a mullet, go out there and get the mullet for mullet's sake, okay? It's about looking a little bit trashy. It's about looking like you're about to get into some shit, and it's about looking like you smoke Newports between every single finger. Okay, now one of the most enduring and iconic hairstyles in all of punk is the mohawk. Now, there are so many different kinds of mohawks, so many different colors and lengths and ways you spike it, but this is just, generally speaking, the mohawk. The mohawk is a GOAT tier hairstyle. You can look like a badass in any aspect of your life with a mohawk. You can have a big old one coming up over everybody's head and you can have a hard time going through doorways, or you can have a nice little short one, you know, and still look badass. You know, you're like pretending that it's like an office haircut, but you're like secretly getting away with having a mohawk in public. And I think that that's very sick. Mohawks, GOAT tier. Next hairstyle we have to talk about is the Liberty spikes. And I think the Liberty spikes get a little bit more credit than it deserves. I think the Liberty spikes are disgusting. It's a fucking filthy hairstyle. It's the most crusty. It's the fucking physically the hardest. And dudes go out there and put like glue and all sorts of different kinds of adhesion methods to get their fucking spikes to stand up. But now, you know, gel exists and it's common to just go to your local pharmacy and pick up something strong enough to do this. But back in the day, I wouldn't be the least bit surprised if punks were going around dipping their head in wet cement to get a good fucking Liberty spike going. Because of the message that it sends though, I have to put them here in the mid tier, no matter all the bad things I said about them. Okay, now we gotta talk about some distant relatives to the mullet. First up, we're talking about the scarlet. That is shaved head everywhere except for a big poof on back. And it looks awful. It is the worst haircut that you could fucking imagine. But for some reason, wearing this hairstyle just makes you look like the most confident person in the world. Like, who would willingly go out in public looking like this? He fucked your mom, he fucked your sister, he's fucking your dad currently. He has a near perfect haircut. Now just flip that poof from the back to the front and you got the Chelsea, boys and girls. The Chelsea is a classic haircut amongst skinhead women and amongst just like people dabbling in scene culture for the first time. They're like, I'm gonna do something real edgy with my hair. I'm gonna shave it, but not all the way. I'm gonna leave little bangs and little strands, so it's still like kind of femme and kind of girly, but still super punk. I might leave a little bit on the back, I'm not sure yet, but you know, it's gonna be a Chelsea. It certainly is for a certain kind of person. And that kind of person is normally an activist type person. They might be really far left leaning, if that means anything to you, but that is the kind of person that is wearing this hairstyle. And I don't know if I think that it's a real good hairstyle, but because of how iconic it is, it's definitely mid. I can't say it's whack as fuck. If you're pulling up into Chelsea, I'm kind of still giving you a fist bump. Okay, this hairstyle is a real skinny little mullet in the back called the rat tail. And it had its time in the sun in maybe like 1991. Yeah, I think 1991 was the year for the rat tail. But the rat tail is long since gone. And personally, I don't ever see it coming back. And it's always been whack as fuck. It looks awful. Everybody that rocks this hairstyle looks like they fucking snort grease in the parking lot. They're the dirtiest motherfuckers going. It's whack as fuck. And I want to say in 2022, let's do the rat tail thing. Let's bring it back, kind of ironically. But I can't even bring myself to do that. I don't want to influence a single rat tail in this world. But what I noticed, all the Gen Zers, the younger dudes, they have this hook hairstyle. And it's kind of cool, it's kind of messy, it's kind of all over the place. It's kind of something that I would always love to do if I had any hair left on this goddamn head at all, but I don't, so I can't do the hook. No matter what year of my life it was, this hair would never adorn the top of my skull. I don't know, does jealousy win out and I put it whack as fuck? No, the hook is the second GOAT of the list. Now here's the hairstyle that I am saying let's bring back this year, because the last couple years, this has been the wackest, the most stupid, the most ridiculed hairstyle that has ever been on the internet, and that is the MySpace emo swoosh, the Johnny Gilbert. Oh man, let's bring this thing back, but let's not bring back any of the things associated with this scene. So yeah, this might get a lot of flack, but I'm gonna say that the emo swoop, the Johnny Gilbert, is right here as a real good head of hair. You know what's not a good head of hair though, and what's never been, and even though like I've been friends with people that have had this hair, and there's people watching this video right now that have this hair, and I'll never like make fun of you for having this head of hair because like, of course, again, super jealous. So I'm not sure if this is supreme jealousy speaking or whatever, but I think the Dave Mustaine locks are super cringe, and I can't stand them. I can't have them around. I gotta put them down here in the whack as fuck tier. I don't think there's ever gonna come a time where I can put the man bun, especially the undercut man bun, any higher than whack as fuck. Top of whack as fuck. This next hairstyle has a couple different names depending on how you specifically style it, okay? It could be called the mushroom cut because it looks kind of like a mushroom, or it could be called the bowl cut because it looks like someone put a bowl on your head and just cut around the edge. And nobody's rocking this hairstyle right now. I miss it so much. I really want this thing to come back. I gotta say that the mushroom cut alongside the scarlet is certainly a near perfect head of hair. You know what's not near perfect? Just the general undercut. It could be long and undercut and in a ponytail. If you got the undercut, you're Tim Allen's son from Home Improvement, and you're fucking so mid. All right, now we're talking about the bald, the what I rock, the what the rock rocks. And it, you know, it is a low maintenance hairstyle, you know, other than the fact that you got to shave your head rather than shampoo, which does take longer. But as far as like styling the head of hair and making sure the head of hair looks okay in situations, you don't need to worry about that. And it's friggin' amazing, and I love it. And I can take off the hat and just live life like a confident bald man. And I'm a big fan of that, but it does have its drawbacks, okay? When you have just the skull, you look like just the skull, okay? It takes away a lot of the personality, and you gotta have the magnetism of the rock to make the baldness work. If you can raise that one eyebrow, if you have that beautiful smile, if you're big and jacked and Samoan, then goddamn right, it's a GOAT hairstyle. But just as a general rule of thumb, the bald is a mid. But you know what would make it sick? Just to fucking put a tattoo on it. GOAT. Bald with a tattoo, it doesn't matter. You got the tattoo on the side, on this side, on the back, the whole fucking thing. Doesn't even matter. If you got the skull tattoo and a bald head, that is goated. But most people that shave their head bald are shaving their head bald because they've been blessed with the costanza. And that is, unfortunately, the genetics that your boy has been blessed with. The fact that I've lost this hair and I have to either look like George Costanza or look like a less charismatic rock with broken glasses. So because of all the negative connotations I have with the George Costanza, this hairstyle is whack as fuck. All right, this is the last hairstyle on the list, and it's the most normie hairstyle on the list. It's just the fade, all right? Now, if you're any kind of bro, if you're like a hockey bro, if you're like a journalism bro, if you're a tech bro, you know, if you're any kind of bro, then yeah, get your fucking fade, go to the barber, and ask him to give you a clean fade. But if you're anyone else, okay, if you're anybody else, it's whack as fuck. But it does have a place in the scene, it does have a place in society, so I can't put it all the way down at the very, very bottom. It's just at the very bottom of the mid tier. All right, I'm about to get out of here. Okay, I'm about to get out of here, but before I do, if you like this video, do me a huge favor and like it. It helps get it out to more people. If you haven't subscribed already, go ahead and do that. Throw this video in a group chat or a Discord somewhere, and until my next upload, watch another upload.